We're about to dive into a subject many of us think we know, a place that's often just turned into a punchline. But what if the way we usually see it misses the entire point? Let's uncover the hidden truth behind hell. I mean, think about it. All the casual jokes, the way it shows up in movies, the ideas we all have. What if it's all built on one giant misunderstanding? What if the reality isn't about some cartoon character with a pitchfork? What if it's something way deeper, something eternal, and infinitely more serious? Now that's the real question we're digging into here. We're going to break down what the source material says about a reality that's less about fire and much, much more about something else entirely. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the most common way this whole topic gets brushed aside. You've heard the jokes, right? Those flippant remarks people make to just dismiss it. So what's so fascinating about this slide is just how stark the contrast is. On one side, you've got this idea of a party, right? Like life just continues, but with your friends. But then you look at what the source text actually says, and it's a totally different universe. Not a party, but outer darkness. A place defined by weeping and gnashing of teeth, which just screams of deep anguish, not a celebration. Trust me, there is no laughter there. And you know, this anguish isn't just physical. The source describes a kind of torment that's way more emotional, more mental. It's the pain of looking back on your life, but with a horrifying clarity you never had before. Just try to imagine that for a second. Being in a state where you perfectly remember every single warning you laughed off, every time you felt that little nudge to change and you just said, nah, maybe later. Now imagine the crushing weight of knowing you can never, ever fix it. You can't go back. That is the kind of regret we're talking about here. And this right here brings us to the absolute core of this explainer. If hell isn't just about punishment, then what is it? Well, according to the source, the whole idea can be summed up in one single powerful word. Separation. That's the word, that's the key. It's defined not by what is there, but by everything that isn't. The total absence of light, the total absence of peace, the total absence of hope, and at the very foundation of it all, the complete final separation from God. To really wrap your head around what that separation truly means, you've got to first understand what's being taken away. The source suggests that God is the origin point of everything good, and not just the big ideas like love and joy. We're talking about the peace you might feel in a quiet moment, even the very breath in your lungs. And this lays out the terrifying logic of it all. If God is the source of all good, what happens when you completely remove that source? What's left over? The source gives a truly chilling answer. Nothing but torment. So if this is the reality being described, then what's with all the warnings? Well, the source frames it in a different way. Not as a threat, but as proof of how huge the sacrifice was to create a way out. This might be one of the most famous verses ever, and it's presented here as the ultimate piece of evidence. The claim is that God gave literally everything, his own son, just to make another path possible. This question really puts it all into perspective. Why would there be such a drastic, incredibly painful solution if there wasn't a real problem to be saved from? The argument is pretty clear. The intensity of the rescue mission points to the terrible reality of the danger. And here's another piece of the puzzle that the source says people often ignore. The original design, the original purpose of this place. It was never intended for humanity. It was prepared for the devil and his angels. The text suggests people only end up there by choosing to follow that same dark path. Okay, so after laying out the sheer gravity of that warning, the entire narrative just pivots. It shifts away from the darkness and starts building towards a powerful, incredible message of hope. This is the turning point. This is the moment everything changes. After all that talk of darkness and separation, the source delivers this powerful, simple statement. The good news. There is another way. You don't have to go there. And that other way is presented as a series of gifts, all available through Jesus Christ. An escape from that final destination. Forgiveness for all the things that would lead you there. A second chance. A totally clean slate. And finally, eternal life, which is the exact opposite of eternal separation. And the source couldn't be more clear that this offer is for everyone. It's not limited by your past or who you think you are. The message is simple. It doesn't matter who you are or what you've done. That call is still for you. And this brings everything right down to one single point. It's not about winning a theological debate. It's about a personal and very urgent decision. According to the source, the biggest danger isn't outright denial. It's delay. It's that little voice that says, I'll deal with this later. I still have time. But life is so fragile, and tomorrow is never, ever promised. One moment everything's normal, and in the next, eternity begins. And this is the question designed to cut right through that sense of, I'll do it tomorrow. It takes away the comfort of the future and forces you into a moment of real, honest self-reflection. If the clock ran out tonight, would you be ready? You see, in the end, it's not presented as something you have to figure out all by yourself. It's about a response. A call has already gone out. The only question left is, will you answer it? And so we end on this final, powerful plea from the source material, a call to action that really sums up the entire point of the warning and the offer of good news. Choose life, while that choice is still yours to make.